broaden the scope slightly, let's stay with the heat wave. And South Africans are feeling the heat in more ways than one. Load shedding, we've just spoken about that, combined with soaring temperatures are a bad combination. But as further heat waves are expected, climate change is obviously a hot topic, not just in this country, but around the world. Here's reporter Janke Tolme, who's looking at that aspect of the story. So experts, Janke, good afternoon to you, seeing substantial changes in South Africa's weather patterns. And this is not recent. I mean, this has been over the past 5 decades or so.
Yes, Jeremy, that's correct. I think most people are now familiar with the threat posed by climate change, specifically when it comes to the extreme weather patterns and rising sea levels. But the problem is, when we look at the average global temperatures rising, we as South Africa, based in the Southern African region, is specifically vulnerable to this. And I did speak to Professor Francois Engelbrecht from the Global Change Institute just to reflect on where South Africa is and what we are facing specifically as a region. So let's just take a listen.
The key feature of climate change in the Southern African region is the drastic rate of temperature increase observed over the last 5 decades or so. So to put this into perspective, over the last 5 decades, the world's temperature has warmed by almost 1 degree Celsius. But here in Southern Africa, in the interior, the temperatures have risen by about 2 degrees Celsius over the same period of time. So Southern African temperatures are rising at more or less twice the global rate of temperature increase. That's a major cause of concern, of course, because it means that even if the Paris Agreement is going to be successfully implemented, and the global temperature increase will be restricted to, say, 2 degrees Celsius, we may well still see temperature increases as high as 4 degrees Celsius across very large parts of the Southern African interior.
But it's a little more complicated than that, Janke. It's not just about changes in average temperatures, is it?
Yes, I think a lot of people might hear global averages when it comes to temperatures, and this is increasing, but they can't really apply it to their own lives. But as you'll hear from Professor Engelbrecht, this has also led to the increase in the number of heat waves that South Africans are feeling like they are feeling today.
When average temperatures in Southern Africa are rising, it also means that the frequency of occurrence of heat waves is getting higher. And we've seen a striking example of this during the big El Nino event of the years 2015-16, when the entire Southern Africa experienced its warmest summer in recorded history, but also the highest frequency of occurrence of heat waves in recorded history.
Updated weather bulletin just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. Reporter Janke Tolme, thank you. Now